Michigan Replay with Bo Schembechler and Larry Adderley. Brought to you by General Motors Corporation and its Pontiac and GM parts divisions. And by the General Tire and Rubber Company. Welcome to Michigan Replay, and Coach, this is the place where congratulations are due for a 10-1 season, another Big Ten championship, and a trip to the Rose Bowl.
Well, thank you, Larry. We're really pleased, and I think this team has done a remarkable job coming back from a mid-season slump when we really weren't an outstanding team, and we kept improving, and hanging in there. We really had to call on all the tenacity we could muster down in Columbus, because we were about to run out of players, you know, offensively particularly, but our defense was superb, and in the long run, we were good enough to win it.
You had people hurt, you had people sick, you had just about everything go wrong, but you still had those 6 games to win in a row, and you won all 6.
Well, that's the thing, you know, at mid-season, why it was one of those years where you could go either way, and I think the character of the Michigan team came to the fore, and we did a good job.
3 years in a row, you have taken Ohio State. 3 years in a row, they have failed to score a touchdown on you. But Saturday, they did move the ball at the beginning and get the first points up on the scoreboard.
Well, they did. They moved pretty well on us early, and then we stiffened, and they ended up settling for a field goal. Here's Rick Volley, their fullback, on a regular buck play up the middle, split our guard and linebacker. And the option play, they ran extremely effective. We missed a tackle there, of course. I thought we had a defense, but they got down in there. And finally, our defense stiffened, and they kicked the field goal to go ahead 3-0. At this point in the game, of course, we hadn't done a whole lot offensively. We had gotten a few first downs, but that's about it. And then we went to the air here, and here's Rick with a great pass to Doug Marsh, the tight end, with our first pass and our first completion, really, in the ballgame.
A tremendous amount of time to throw the ball, too.
This is exactly the same pass, Larry, and this time he went over the middle to Butch Woolfolk, our freshman tailback, who takes it down to the 30-yard line. This is an automatic play against a defense in which they, an 8-man front, and they had single coverage out on Rodney Feaster, our wide receiver, and Rick came up and threw him the ball for a touchdown.
Young man made a very big catch, got a little excited over that.
Well, that was an excellent catch. Here's another picture of it, Larry. It wasn't an easy catch at all, because the defensive back was right on him, and he had to reach a little low and came up with the ball and went in to score. So that was pleasing. Here we are in the second quarter. We're leading 7-3. Woolfolk runs a counter play, and he gets hurt. And of course, Harlan didn't play in this game because of a knee injury, and now Butch goes out. Roosevelt Smith's been bothered by a bad knee, and he came in to run tailback, and I thought did a super great job coming off the bench and playing great ball for us. This is Springs again on the pitch out on the option play, and their freshman quarterback, Schleister, did an excellent job running the option. Here he is again, gaining yardage. He's going to be a real fine Big Ten quarterback in the next 3 years, Larry. Once again on the option, this is Springs again, getting good yardage. And they were running the option like we wanted to, but unfortunately, Rick pulled a hamstring early in the second period, and we were unable to run much option. Here we finally got some pressure on him, and he fumbles the ball, and Andy Canavino comes up for it, and that certainly was a big turnover. Rick again, this time he gives it to Roosevelt Smith on a tailback draw play, and there's a big hole in the Ohio State line, and he goes to midfield. Rick back to pass again. This time he finds Ralph Clayton over the middle for a good gain, and we appear to be moving for our second touchdown here now. He deals a swing pass out to Roosevelt Smith, and he picks up another first down.
He doesn't look hurt, does he?
No, he's running pretty well right now. This is a 3rd-and-1 situation. Rick goes back to pass again and hits Gene Johnson over the middle. He's going in for a touchdown, and they strip him of the ball, and Ohio State recovers. And
you thought he might have been in?
I thought at the time he did. Gene thought he was, but of course Gene was a little embarrassed by that play. But Skillings, their defensive back, pounces on the ball, but that touchdown would have really helped us because that would have put us up 14-3 at halftime. And with Rick hurting, why, you know, it had helped us an awful lot. But after the game, I was congratulating Gene Johnson, and he says, you know, Coach, he said, I'm sure glad we won that game because that had been embarrassing, drop that ball on the 1 foot line.
Been tough to remember.
Oh, gee.
7-3 at the half. We'll be back to take a look at second half highlights when Michigan Replay continues. Games like this always close with Ohio State, 7-3 at the half. Are you concerned? What are you saying to your team?
Well, first of all, at halftime, you know, we felt we were right in there and had an excellent chance to win it. A little bit concerned about our injury situation, particularly with Rick, because it almost eliminated the option attack, and in our football, that's an important part of our offense. But we decided to go with Rick as long as he could. You know, be mobile enough to hand off and to pass, and I thought he did an excellent job. As a matter of fact, we did run a couple options in the second half, and unfortunately we thought he'd have to pitch it out, but they made him run the ball.
Perhaps more important, though, is the fact that your defense by now is really warmed up to the Ohio State offense, and they're shutting most everything down.
One thing we said at halftime, Larry, was that if we didn't give them field position, they wouldn't score on our defense. That's the way we felt, and our defense just kept getting bigger, tougher and better in the afternoon, and we started to dominate, and that was important. They did break a draw play here, but that still wasn't enough for a first down. They had an awful lot of yardage to go and came right back and with the same play, and we stopped them here and forced a punt.
The best game for your offense of the season, or for your defense, rather? I
think so, taking everything into consideration. Here's Roosevelt Smith again coming off tackle. We were in that tight end eye here. You can see it again. This is our tight end in motion. And Rick goes back and throws the ball out to Doug Marsh, who makes a fine catch at the 20. Rick again back to pass. And we almost had one here. He took plenty of time back there, and that was Doug Marsh coming across the middle, and we thought we'd be able to hit him for a touchdown, and Skillings, their defensive back, knocked the ball down. Here is a bootleg screen to the Lawrence Reed, our fullback, who's in there for Russell Davis, who was sick in this game and had to leave the game. This is a 3rd down and 11. Rick back to pass and does a great job dealing the ball off to Roosevelt Smith for a touchdown. I thought that was a great play. The primary receiver was in on a post cut on a down-the-line option, and
I guess you thought that was a great play.
I felt we were going to win the game after that play, to be honest with you.
Beautiful, soft little throw,
yeah.
Right.
I've seen him do that before. He did it in the Iowa game to Roosevelt. He's done that before. He's got the touch.
Now it's just a matter of shutting them down.
Now we got to play good defense. Now here's the way to defense the option play, which we didn't do before, and so now we've got things pretty well going, and that was key. 3rd down and 6. Schleister under pressure here, back to pass, and finally stopped short of a first down. And
he's a tough runner, though.
He's going to be a good quarterback, Larry. He's got all the attributes necessary. He's a smart kid, and he's a big, tall kid that can throw the ball and run. And now we're kicking him down in there. We got an excellent kick here. Got him stopped on the 2-yard line, and it's hard to go 98 yards for a touchdown. And they put Rodney Gerald in at quarterback. Now, you remember Gerald last year in our game. We had real difficulty stopping him and went to the option offense. And here on 3rd down 5, he decided to give the ball to the fullback and failed to make it.